Hello, I'm Mary Lohman, and this is Mondays with Mary. It's the week before Resurrection Sunday. I hope you are preparing your heart to celebrate this Sunday, for it's truly the most important celebration for us as Christ followers. And in preparation, I'd like us to focus on a very unusual question, which is, what kind of a God dies? If you and I were given the assignment to determine how the sins of mankind could be forgiven, would we ever have come up with a plan that God becomes man and dies? The disciples certainly had difficulty hearing Jesus when he repeatedly told them he had to come to die, not to get rid of the Roman rule in Israel and establish himself as the king, as they thought. I've been trying to put myself in the shoes of those disciples as they grappled with Jesus's mission. Clearly, Jesus told them the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. He told them that he was the good shepherd, and the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He even gave them an indication of the kind of death it would be when he said, just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up. But they just couldn't hear it because, after all, what kind of God dies? A crucified Messiah was not their idea of a hero, a savior, their hope. And up to the very end, they just couldn't believe it. Jesus was going to be crucified on a cross? Well, with clear hindsight now and with the New Testament to explain it to us, we can look back and see why the Son of God had to die. God's justice and holiness required a perfect sacrifice for your sin and for my sin. And that was only possible through the sinless Son of God. Remember, no one took Jesus' life from him. He gave it. This was all part of God's eternal plan. Every detail of his death was predetermined and orchestrated by God. The amazing truth is that once the disciples understood the purpose of Jesus' death on the cross, and they came to see and believe that he had risen from the grave, that very shameful act of Jesus who was God, being crucified, well, it transformed the disciples and their message. And the thing that once had been so unbelievably repugnant to them became the thing in which they boasted, the cross of Jesus Christ. And that is what we boast in this Easter season, don't we? Don't let this celebration pass you by this year without taking time to remember again that Jesus set you free by dying for you and then rising again from the tomb. And because of that, you're free indeed. What kind of God dies? Only the true God, the only God who died so that we could live. Let it sink into your mind and heart as you stand in awe that Jesus died for you. Don't ever take this story, this truth for granted, or allow it to become just another story that you hear once a year. Understanding the enormity of the death of Jesus on a cross is sobering and sad. But then the sure knowledge that he conquered death and is alive, oh, that's reason for great joy. Celebrate and worship as never before this entire week that we serve a risen Savior. He is risen indeed.